Death is not a new challenge for the creative industry. During the filming of Gladiator, when Oliver Reed died, the script was rewritten and CGI was used to sort of smooth over the cracks. When Elliott Smith died mid-album recording, From a Basement on the Hill was released anyway, with fewer songs than intended and the mixing completed after the fact. As sacred as life may seem, contracts are always fulfilled. But when Gorillaz announced their latest studio album, The Mountain, and the tracklist was littered with names like Tony Allen, Marky Smith, and Dennis Hopper, I had to do a bit of a double take. Hopper died 15 years ago, Womack just over a decade, and Allen during the COVID pandemic. All six deceased musicians who are on the track list have been featured on Gorillaz songs before. Beyond those already mentioned, David Jolicoeur will be on the album's second track, The Moon Cave. Now, he is famously part of De La Soul, and the biggest song that they did with Gorillaz is Feel Good Inc., the one with the laugh. Another is Proof on the recently released The Manifesto, and he was part of D12, who did a song with Gorillaz called 9/11. Gorillaz have always been forward-thinking. Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett capitalised on the burgeoning technology of the digital age to create a wholly curated virtual band. The album's themes are often reactionary. So you've got 9/11, which was in response to the terrorist attack, and you've got 2017's Let Me Out, where guest rapper Pusha T on his verse talks about Obama, Trump, and a shooting at a gay club in Orlando. However, the past few months have felt the most backward-looking that Gorillaz have ever been. Take the 4-night Copper Box run, where 3 of the nights they were playing old albums in their entirety. Take the House of Kong exhibition, where it was looking back at the visual history of the band, and take the website that they just relaunched, which was a major part of early Gorillaz. Plonk that atop all the deceased musicians, you start to question whether or not they want to acknowledge that they've made anything past 2010. The growing market for nostalgia, which to be honest has always been there, is the reason why Oasis can reunite and charge hundreds for the tickets, or why the Beatles have had their first #1 hit in 54 years. Alban Hewlett seems to be using every weapon in that arsenal of sentimentality to boost the visibility, maybe even the viability of this upcoming project. The hope for The Mountain, the album, is in its concept. The House of Kong exhibition's main message was follow the light, with a particular focus on the spiritual and ethereal. In fact, the tracklist features the same amount of Indian artists as dead artists, and considering the album's title is written in Sanskrit, I'll put a nice picture up here, the Hindu influence is likely to be strong. By the looks of it, Arman and Aryan, Ali Bangash's Sarod, and Anushka Shankar's Sitar will interplay on the album's first track, and hopefully that will establish the sonic palette and also the theme of reincarnation as early as possible in the album. In a recent interview, Arban said that already recorded segments of the deceased artist will be used for their contributions, so thankfully not AI. We can only hope, and I'm sure this is the case, that these artists will be tastefully reincarnated by Arban and Hewlett, not dragged down memory lane for the sake of it. But what do you think about this whole idea of dead artists being repurposed for new music? What do you think about Gorillaz' upcoming album and the singles that they've already released? Let me know in the comments, follow for more, and let me know what I should do next time.